Death in Vegas. Scorpio Rising.
Featuring the voice of, is it Noel Gallagher?
Liam, innit?
Is it Liam?
Sounded a bit like him.
Liam, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, isn't it?
Excellent, yeah. Right, okay, let's get this show well and truly on the road. We better start, educating Ricky next, Carl? What have you got for me? I can't wait for learning. I need learning. I need education.
We should just
Teach
explain,
me something.
obviously, for those that have just tuned in, Carl, tries to teach Ricky 3 things each week.
Based on the pun title,
and yeah, each of them, just to tantalise Ricky, is, abbreviated into some kind of headline.
A cryptic clue involving a pun.
So what have you got for us this week?
They are really cryptic this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
First story, little headline, is, don't worry about him, he can handle it.
He can handle it.
Yeah.
Sounds a bit like he can handle it, but it's not. Brilliant.
Second one.
Get a lobe of
I'm
Get a lobe of this.
It's a classic. So you can forget. Get a lobe of this.
Yeah. Coming soon.
And stocking Aitken and Waterman. Go on.
Second one.
Yeah.
I'm committed to this treatment.
I'm committed to this treatment.
Yeah.
Alright, tantalising.
Yeah. And the last one, the police are causing a bit of a stare.
Oh. The way he looks when he says it. I wish we could say, can't we get Carl on telly?
No. There's got to be a way.
We cannot. With all the cable channels, anyone can get on telly these days. Let's phone up. Let's get you on Choice or something. Just a little, just Carl.
What are you going for?
Oh, he can handle it, I think.
Don't worry about him, he can handle it.
He can handle it. Okay, let's hear this one.
Right, are you familiar with the phrase, burning the candle at both ends?
Yeah.
Do you know how it's come about?
I know a man who does.
I assumed that it was to get more light in the room.
How would that work?
Well, they'd put it sideways and light both wicks, so out of one candle they could get two. No, go on.
No, what it is...
it means you're doing too much, you're staying up too much, you're not getting enough sleep, and you're...
Well, years ago...
Yeah.
When they didn't have light bulbs and that.
Oh yeah, what year is this? Literally ages ago, specifically.
Yeah, quite a bit back.
Okay.
Didn't have light bulbs and that, so they used to have candles in
When did the light bulb come in? Because I can't remember at the moment.
I don't know.
Okay, go on.
So, yeah, so they've got a light bulb.
You're not, you wouldn't know, you're a doctor, you're not a historian, go on.
And people who worked a lot of hours, yeah.
How many? Literally lots?
They get up early in the morning because they have to be up early.
Yeah.
And it's dark outside, so they light the candle.
Sure.
And they wear it out a bit. And then they'd be getting in late as well.
Yeah.
And like, they'd be like, oh, it's dark, I'll have to light the candle again. And they're burning candle at both ends of the day. So that's where the saying comes from, burning the candle at both ends. So.
Alright.
That's a little lesson.
Yeah.
Lesson one.
Okay. Can I have...
No, you can't have
You can't rush into them, Rick. You've got to...
I've got to soak in that.
You've got to soak that one in. Any questions for Carl off the back of that?
What do you think?
So people were, I mean, basically where this comes from is people were
literally burning the candle at both ends of the day.
Sure.
There you go. So we've still got...
Go on.
I'm committed to this treatment. And
I can't wait. This is like Christmas
Rick,
Eve for me. It's like Christmas. I've got to open another present now.
No, I'm afraid we've got to save it. Rick, listen. We often get a lot of email correspondence during the show, Rick, which I don't sort of pass on to you because I mean you're busy, you're planning the show and stuff. You've got a lot of ideas, you've got music and stuff to worry about. So I check the emails, and we get a lot of response. A lot of people obviously want to give us feedback. Just a sample one from Richard Anderson. He's just emailed us in here, Rick, because he's been listening to the show. He says, Ricky, your show is appalling. Are you actually aware you're on the radio, or has someone just secretly stuck a microphone on you? That's from Richard Anderson. So that's typical of the kind of feedback, Rick, we're getting today. So,
is that good, is it?
So that's the kind of, high positive praise that we're getting. So,
I'm glad Anderson's listening, because I wanted him. I was gunning for him as a fan.
I was worried that
early on in our career, so I think he's hooked now, though.
But thanks, Anders, for getting in touch. Good work.
He's fitting through it for Hellraiser, though, isn't he?
Yeah, well, that's still to come.
Still to come. Still to come. What are we playing?
A bit of old dirty I can't say the word, it's offensive. Old
Is it
ODB.
bollocks? Is it old dirty bollocks?
No.
What is it?
Old dirty
big cock? What is it?
I can't tell you, it's offensive.
Breaks up.
Brilliant.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Funny word, isn't it?
It's weird.
Funny word,
What other funny words are there,
Although
Carl?
XFM's a funny word, I just say the letters out, because the word doesn't make sense.
Just, let me just check Richard Anderson's email again, just to remind myself of...
Go on.
Ricky, your show is appalling, Richard Anderson. Thanks. What I like about, Dickie Anders is that he's obviously so angry, he's so annoyed by the show, that he's bothered to email just to get the venom out. Otherwise you'd just think you'd switch over. Well, he's obviously so annoyed, he
knows how to hurt someone as well.
Exactly. He's really taken the time out to show his disapproval.
Of giving up.
I'll tell you what though, it is pretty hard to listen to.
What, this?
Yeah.
I've listened back to the tape, that when you're making that thing for the best of.
Yeah.
And I mean, I sounded like Albert's Tatlock. I really sounded like some sort of punch-drunk stroke victim. And oh, there you go. I was gonna say, I don't remember myself like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do apologise. It's not a great planned show, slick word of articulate sentence, is it? But I mean, then who is?
But I think, there's so many shows that are, nowadays on radio. I think there's a lot of stuff that's heavily formatted, and there's with, I don't know, presenters who are professional and have got some sort of degree of talent and ability to sort of string a sentence together. I'm thinking Chris Moyles.
Yeah,
predominantly.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm bored with those people.
Exactly.
I think we need a little bit of Carl in our life.
I'm just thinking, actually, just suddenly struck me. If you want to get rid of your furniture,
got a buyer.
You've already got a buyer. Because if there's any other stuff, we were clearing some stuff out of our place recently, and we just dumped some stuff outside on the street because we were going to take it and take it to the tip later. Just dump some stuff outside, and I have never seen so many people come out of the woodwork scavenging through our garbage. It was incredible. They were like zombies.
Well, that's what I was saying.
They were like flies around shit.
But when I said to Carl.
That's what you should just do, just dump it outside, because it'll get taken.
When he went, he said, do you think I asked enough, 100? I went, yes, definitely. He went, oh, I could ask what? I said, no, don't do that. I said, because you'll end up having to pay the council to take it away. He said, I wouldn't. He said, I'd rather just dump it and let a little homeless fella have it. And then he went, imagine the little homeless fella sitting at the desk.
Can you imagine, right, I walk past, he's sat outside Hearts, right, the little 24-hour shop. He's sat outside there and he goes, have you got any change? And I go, I can do better than that.
Yeah, here's a chair and table.
Here's a futon.
Yeah.
A futon, no less. Not your boring bed, but a trendy... Yeah.
Well, but the thing is, amazing the number of people that would stop to look at our junk. There was a car driving by with a family and kids, perfectly respectable, just driving past, on their way to somewhere, stopped, got out, got the kids out of the car, come on kids, let's just look through this junk. But I like the idea.
You said we were going to Alton Towers, Dad.
No, sorry, no time. We're not going to the zoo, let's look through this rubbish.
We're not going looking through people's rubbish again,
Put his gloves on, look through this shit.
Ow! That's a needle!
That's a needle. It was, who does that? It was like a Saturday afternoon. Kids were just gonna go and look through some rubbish. And one guy, this is the most incredible one guy, I caught him going through the bins as I came in. I said, alright, what are you doing? He was one of those homeless guys who likes to remain dignified.
Why did you say, what are you doing?
Well, because it was my house, I had to go past, I had to squeeze past him.
He wasn't in your kitchen.
He was in our front garden.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, going through rubbish. He torn the bags open, he was going through it. I said to him, what are you up to? He went, oh yeah, just looking at stuff. Don't worry, I'll clean it all up afterwards, just looking for a few odds and ends, blah, 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 blah. I said, oh well, you can take what you want, it's all going away. Yeah, thanks very much, thanks. Yeah. So he went off, right, I didn't think anything of it. I was walking past the shops the following day, there's a little sort of, kind of 7-Eleven, right, I was walking past, I thought, oh, that's interesting, a Gil Scott Heron album for sale. And I looked, I thought, wait a minute, this is all our rubbish. And the guy had set up like a little car boot sale outside the 7-Eleven on the pavement. He'd taken our junk, he'd marked on prices. There's like an old RAC book from 1976 that had been lying in the house, a Yellow Pages, and he'd marked up the prices.
How much is Yellow Pages?
Oh, I'm glad you asked.
What year was that
50p, I snapped it up. I thought that's a bargain. And, it was incredible, the cheek of just selling our junk outside.
Enterprise, Carl. You did that. What did you used to do? You used to sell flowers.
I sold flowers. I sold fizzy drinks at school.
Did you?
Yeah.
What that you made?
It was Soda Stream, yeah. Made some,
Well, of course, when you were doing your Pilkies making music, your disco, you used to go into Mum's bedroom and find a pair of tights and a cigar.
Yeah, they'd be prizes.
Did your dad used to smoke cigars in tights, or your mum? Which one of them used to... Go on.
Right, look, let's,
Yeah, we're educating Ricky.
No. We're teasing that. Rockbusters.
Well, I think we should play a tune and come back with Rockbusters.
Oh, the show's fallen down, and we were going so well, and it's just the energy, isn't it? The first hour we got through.
I'm still in good spirits.
Is this still good, is it, this show?
I'm enjoying it, yeah.
Yeah? It's still good, is it?
Let me just check, just check what Richard Anderson thinks of it.
Good evening,
he thinks it's appalling. The Dixter thinks it's appalling, so, we should play a tune, because he prefers the music.
Bit of Aqualung.
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 Rockbusters next. This is from Anne-Marie. She says that she loves the podcast. She listens with her 7-month-old baby. That cannot be a good idea. And she says this to you, Carl. If you had children, what is the most important lesson you'd want to teach them?
I mean, in a way, if you sort of look after a kid too much, it doesn't learn that much. But if you let it learn by its mistakes, it'll probably grow up all right.
But there are some mistakes you can't afford it to make to learn from.
Yeah, driving a car the wrong way down a motorway.
Testing if the fire really is hot.
No, but say like the time...
Does broken glass really taste horrible? These are lessons you don't want it to learn from mistakes.
Yeah, you can tell them that.
Yeah,
but what I mean is there's certain things that... I just think there was a kid who grew up in our avenue, right, on the estate, who, when it was born, right, we kind of thought it's got no chance, this kid, because its man was a bit of a rumman. You know,
a rumman? Where's that?
No, just like, you know, she liked going out and having a fag and like having a drink, and she's never at home. It's the one who had the horse in the house.
Sure.
Right, which I don't want to go over.
Sure, it's old news.
It's out there, isn't it, if you want to find out about the horse in the house. But she had a kid, and everyone was pretty surprised when they saw it, because it was a good-looking kid. She was surprised, because, like, you know, the man wasn't that good-looking, the dad was a bit rough. But it came out, and she was showing it around the avenue, going, look at this I've had. And she was chuffed with it, because it's probably like one of the newest things she's ever had, because everything else was always sort of second down and what have you. But suddenly she's got this brand new little baby, right? Anyway, as it grew up, right, those looks went.
Right.
And I'm not talking getting old, I'm talking by the age of about 3. It looked rough already, right? And all that just happened because that's the life it was in, right?
Yeah.
So like it had like a patchy head. Its hair.
It had a patchy head.
A patchy head. It's just sort of.
It wasn't a North American Indian. What do you mean, a patchy head?
Just his hair was patchy. He used to chase sort of cars and stuff.
It's cars. Sorry. What do you mean?
That's what he did for his.
Sorry, did she let it get raised by wolves?
No. But all I'm saying is that at the end of the day, what is it that makes a person? Do you know what I mean? Now, I don't know what state he's in now, but maybe he learned all his mistakes by the age of 4. I'm guessing he's not chasing cars now, but at least he's done it.
I'm guessing he is.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? At least you can go, yeah, I've been there, done that, and you don't go back to it, and you can get away with doing dafter things when you're a kid, can't you? I nearly killed a man once, right?
Okay, right.
That time when I was in Wales, and I was having a walk with my dad on the cliffs and that, and I just picked up a big rock, right? Chucked it off the edge, and as I chucked it off the edge, I noticed a fellow was walking down below.
Jeez.
And I missed his head by like inches. Now, I've never chucked a rock off a bridge or like off a cliff or anything.
And it only took one man to almost lose his life for you to learn that lesson.
Yeah, but that's how you learn your lessons,
yeah.
isn't it?
See, a lot of people would have said that maybe your dad should have said, "Hey, Carl, what are you doing?"
No, but he didn't know I was doing it. I didn't say I'm going to chuck this off here. I just picked it up and chucked it. And like, as I let go of it, I noticed a fellow was down there. You live and you learn. That's a little mantra.
Right.
You live and you learn. So the woman who's had the kid, sort of look after it, feed it, make sure it's got shoes and that, but let it roam about.
That's great.
There's the advice for you, Anne-Marie.
I love that.
Good luck. Just let your 7-month-old baby roam about. Carl, a lot of people are absolutely fascinated to find out how you met Suzanne, your girlfriend of how long?
Ages.
Yeah. And they can't comprehend how, well, I suppose that there's any woman out there.
Well, there's someone for everyone, isn't there?
Yeah.
That's always my thing. And it's reassuring, I think. You know, we've chatted about the face transplants and that. You know, there's a face for everyone.
It's philosophy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's really unbelievable.
No, there is someone for everyone, no matter what condition you're in or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I read on the email, someone emailed in an old Chinese proverb. It's something about everything, no matter what it is, has got one talent. And that's the same way in a relationship, innit? That everyone, you know, there's always someone out there. And that I like the Chinese. There's another Chinese proverb that I learned on an email.
Go on.
He who cuts the wood up warms himself twice.
Yeah, that's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
And then someone sent in that one about too many Chinese cooks spoil the broth.
What? Well, why is? Well, that's. I don't know. I don't know who slipped the word Chinese in there, but I heard it was too many cooks.
Well, it was just all sort of Chinese proverbs and that.
One of my favourite on the same subject is a camel is a horse designed by committee.
What do you mean?
Well, it's having a go at the camel, and it shouldn't. But it's just, it's just a metaphor. And if you wanted to design a horse and you had that vision, but you let 12 people in a room have their say, it wouldn't come out as you wanted it to do, and it wouldn't be as good. A vision is more perfect than committee, because everyone having their say, it becomes anodyne, it becomes compromised. Whereas the best things you can do is have an idea and have a vision and auteur that.
Rick, can I just say now, I can tell from his look that he's thinking, which committee designed the camel?
Well, I'd say, why would you request the ump bit? Because that's just going to get in the way, isn't it? I've always said that about a lot of animals. It's like we've doubled up on a lot of them. We've chatted about elephants and mammoths, one or the other. And that's the same with a camel. I'd have that up there as what they're doing. They were good years ago, in the Jesus times and that. Don't need them now. You know what I mean? We've moved on.
Well, not people who use camels to cross deserts.
What other? I'm going
communities.
to throw some animals at you, and you tell how you'd have improved them if you'd have been designing them. Okay? Mm-hmm. The octopus.
So I can now go back. I can look at them and go, "What are they doing?"
And where have they gone wrong? What's up with you? How could you improve it? Like the camel, you'd go lose the amp.
I'd probably give it a bit more of a body. Cut down on the arms. And give it some bones, because I don't understand all this. It getting in a jar is good. When does it want to get in a jar? It says...
Well, it only wants to get in a jar according to your stories.
No, but there's something that says it can get in a jar because it hasn't got any bones, but I don't know why it'd want to do that in the first place.
Easy.
I can't even begin to answer that. Once again, you've claimed that you've read that they like to get in jars. I mean, how do they know that octopus like to get in jars?
Oh, God, I love it. You can improve on an octopus. Millions and millions of years of evolution, making it perfect for its surroundings. Okay, another animal for you then, Carl.
Giraffe?
What are they adding to the world? What are they doing?
Well, it's not about what they add to the world,
no, but
is
I thought that's what everything's about. It's about things are here for a reason.
The reason they're here is because they didn't die. That's it.
No, but there seem to be a lot of animals that are like...
Do you think there's a lot of cheating? Is that what you're saying?
I'm just saying, there just seems to be a lot of doubling up.
Yeah, so you get it down to like 8 animals that represented all of it. So okay, who would get in your team? You can choose 8 animals.
This is what I'm saying. If I was Noah, I would have gone like, hang on a minute. I've just seen something that looks a bit like this. Let it drown and have a clear out. But he didn't. He was messing about saving everything.
He was instructed by God to save everything, to be fair to him.
Yeah, but if he's been given that job, for me, he's sort of manager of that job.
So you believe with Noah as well? You believe Noah happened as well, and he built a boat big enough to catch 2 of every species. You actually believe that as fact, do you?
Well, it's out there in book form.
Brilliant.
All right.
We haven't answered the question that we started with. How did you meet Suzanne?
Just at work.
Thanks.
Oh, chimpanzee, that monkey!
There was this airline, and it's having a lot of problems, and a lot of
pilots too tall?
Yeah, the cabin was so tiny.
Only bananas were allowed in the cockpit for fuel.
Anyway, there was a lot of strikes going on, right?
Sure.
Because I don't know what it was about. It was over money or whatever.
Yes.
And
get something that doesn't need money.
Yeah, but
what else could you pay something in?
Well,
Rick, I mean,
peanuts.
Okay, peanuts or fruit. Yeah.
So anyway, the boss of the airline, he had like one pilot who he could trust, right? And that was his son.
Right.
But the problem is with a lot of these planes, you need 2 pilots.
Of course you do.
And he's like, if only I had 2 sons. But he didn't. There's no point harping on about it. Right?
Sure.
He runs an airline?
Who runs an airline, yeah.
But how many pilots are there? Because there must be loads.
No, there's loads, but the problem is a lot of them are going on strike.
Oh.
And each week you can see that we're struggling here.
But how can they just close it down?
No way, you can't do that,
No,
Rick.
of
course you can't.
It's costing him a
It's just-
fortune if he closes it down.
Yeah, but what, one plane's not going to make a difference in an airline, is it?
No, it's all the
It's all
planes.
the planes, mate.
So the son, he's flying the planes and that. He's getting worried for his dad because of his business. It's falling apart. He's like, anyway, listen.
Well, one plane won't make any difference.
Don't worry about it. We've found someone who you can work with. He said he's staying over near the sort of quarantine area where all the animals are kept and stuff.
Right, okay.
They won't be looking in there. They won't bother.
No.
So he's like, all right.
But there's no animal that could be a co-pilot, that's why.
I'll see you. He'll meet up with you in the cockpit.
He'll meet up in the cockpit, yeah, sure.
So anyway, he gets in there. He meets them. At first, a little bit of a shock who he's going to be working with, but he's thinking, as long as I can keep my dad's business alive, I can
Not with
keep
one
a job.
plane.
Everyone's happy. Then one day, what happens is a little bit of a problem.
Oh, dear.
Well, what happened is one woman who was on the plane got a bit peckish,
Right.
and said to the air hostess woman, said, "I'm a little bit peckish. Have you got any sort of nibbles and that?" She went, "No, I got a sandwich." She said, "I don't really want a sandwich. You want something, like the usual stuff that planes give out, just like a bag of nuts or something."
Are they not giving those out yet?
So no, they don't give it for some reason. She was like, "Look, we've stopped giving out the nuts. We can get you a sandwich."
strange,
And the woman's like, "I don't want a sandwich. I just want some nuts." Do you know what I mean? A sandwich is quite a big meal and whatever. I just want some nibbles, some nuts.
Well, that's not available.
So
Done. End of story.
So she said, "Well, you're saying there aren't any nuts." She said, "But earlier I saw you put a tray outside the cockpit, right? It had a sandwich on it, 2 Cokes and 2 bags of nuts." She said, "So you're saying there aren't any, but the pilot's getting
Well,
them."
aren't they now? That was the last 2 packets. Done.
No. So
Let's go home.
Well, I'll go and have a word with the pilot myself because you only put them out there a few minutes ago. He can't have eaten them yet. I want some.
You
I'm
cannot
going
go.
over.
No.
I know this is it. This is. She was saying you cannot go over. She's going. Listen.
Yeah.
I'm going to go over because I feel like I'm being lied to.
No, you can't.
So she goes. Starts, and the pilot can hear all this
get in anyway.
chat about the nuts and what have you, and he's thinking, "What's going on out there?"
Yeah.
He opens the door.
Yeah.
She gets a glance in. The monkey sat there with headphones.
Fucking bollocks.
And that's called A Man Inside My Mouth, which was the B-side to Close to Me. There's nothing amusing about that, Rex. I don't know why you're laughing.
Well,
it's called A Man Inside My Mouth.
Don't know.
And that's fine.
Yeah, it's like, the little man inside your head.
Yeah. You know,
Man
if
inside
a
your
man
mouth.
wants to be inside anyone's mouth, that's good, good action. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
But I agree.
Yeah.
Carl, do you agree with that?
What man in your head? What does that mean?
Brilliant. Yeah.
Extraordinary.
He doesn't even understand schoolboy carry-on innuendo. I know the fact that the play on words is too far then. What does it mean on slightly erection? What? What do you mean dumplings? Huh?
You're a fan of The Simpsons. You know that character in The Simpsons, the gap-toothed yokel?
Yeah.
If I look at Carl when he's reflect, Cletus.
Yeah.
It's the kind of cliche comic book thing of having a mouth wide open to suggest formlessness. Oh. It's amazing.
Or an accommodating come on.
Yes. Absolutely.
Carl. That little man inside your head, it's what, that people use it as your conscience, don't they?
Alright.
Have you ever heard that before?
Yeah.
No?
No.
No? Okay.
I was, Rick, I was watching Moonraker. It was on, I think it was last week.
Yeah.
I don't know how familiar you are with the James Bond films.
I don't think I've ever watched a Bond film from beginning to end.
Yeah.
I've never watched one on DVD, and I've never gone to cinema to watch one, and I'm not usually in on Easter Saturday.
Exactly.
Honestly.
The thing about James Bond, when I was younger, I thought he was amazing. I just thought he was the ultimate cool, sophisticated hero. Do you know what I mean? My dream as a kid, like when I say kid, I mean a teenager, was to come home, which invariably he did. He'd come back to his hotel suite, he'd open the door, there'd be a trail of clothes, and he'd follow and he'd go into the bedroom, there'd be a beautiful woman in the bed, You'd
have said, clean up, what are you doing? You're messy. I'm gonna forget my mum didn't clean all this up now.
Mum,
she's got a bad
there's a nudie lady in my bed. But, and as I say, I used to think he was really cool and sophisticated, and it's only of late that I've sort of revisited these films, and I tell you what, it's his jokes.
Oh!
He is the most infuriating man ever.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't know why people in the films consider him so... I mean, I think the reason that women in the films are always being seduced by him is because, if you notice, they've normally got English as a second language.
Right.
So they don't understand. So when he's making those jokes...
So they don't know when he goes, Just keeping the British end up.
Yeah, I'm just attempting re-entry.
Yeah.
If that was a British woman, she'd be going, what?
Yeah, don't say that. That sounds awful, and it's a terrible
It's so rude, what am I?
Yeah, what am I? Yeah. And they just laugh.
They just laugh coquettishly and then, you know, unzip their dress normally. But some of the guys, there was one where he's just being chased by a guy in a moped or something, and the guy plummets off a cliff and smashes through a van which is full of feathers, and he plummets to his death, and Bond just says, all those feathers, and he still couldn't fly. What are you talking about? What do you mean? It's not a joke! It's just words! There's one where in Moonraker, he punches this guy, he's having a fight, he punches him through a plate glass window, and he lands on a piano, and Bond goes, play it again, Sam. And there's the one, I remember there's the one in one of the early films where he throws a guy in a bath and electrocutes him by throwing in a thing, and then he goes, absolutely shocking. But I was thinking, you've just killed a man!
I know,
you're a psychopath!
Yeah,
and it's just so excruciating. If someone was doing those kind of jokes in the office, you would hate them. Do you know what I mean? You wouldn't want to talk to them, they'd be a bore.
I know, everything's a little one-liner, I know, and everything's a pun.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, there is a bloody good secret agency.
That's true.
So, you know, they're not hired for their, you know, wit and, stand-up ability. So, you know, it swings and roundabouts.
Yeah.
I doubt Johnny Vegas could, save the world.
That's true enough, yeah.
So, think on, different people, different needs. Kings of Leon, California Waiting on XFM 104.9. Do you know what, Steve? We get emails and, you know, we got our posters up around this show and, people enjoy it. But I don't think we get the credit we deserve for picking the music.
It's true. Because
we're totally unplaylisted, and I don't know if people know about this, that mine and Steve's sort of first passion before comedy is probably music. We're really, we love playing each other sort of records and that. And maybe when we come back, we should do a show where there is no pressure to, you know, like, Carl doesn't press the buttons for it, pre-record it, where we just swap each other's sort of ideas for music.
It'd be like, the Ricky Gervais compilation tape.
Well, sort of like, we're not talking John Peel, where we try and find obscure Belgian jungle and do demos. You know, everything from, you know, Kings of Leon, Lou Reed, you know, maybe a bit of 80s stuff that people have forgotten about.
Beautiful songs.
So what do you think?
I'd love to do that, Rick. I mean, genuinely, there's nothing more exciting to me than introducing to someone a song which they then go on and they love, and maybe they buy the album,
But that's something to think about, maybe, for later.
Yeah. Well, it's like you say, the pressure to kind of come up with some, you know, high caliber chat between each record, it takes the toll.
But, yeah, and that's, you know, it's a passion of ours and we love to, but now, it's Rockbusters.
Can I just say something now, before we do Rockbusters? A lot of people sort of, they come up to me, they say, Steve, we like the show, when are you gonna get rid of Rockbusters? It brings it down. I'm not joking. I'm not joking, there is loads of people. Like,
Come off it. Come off it.
What?
I know people who say, you're never gonna stop that, are you? So, one of us is lying again.
Well, not really. You know, I'm talking about people who've listened to the show. You're talking about Suzanne, your girlfriend.
Oh, Martin. He'll be at home now with a pad, getting ready to play.
But I should just...
Max Freeman did encourage Carl on a couple of occasions. He even tried to get him through with the answer egg when we were doing that naming animal round.
Yes.
So,
but I should just say that people think that somehow Ricky and I are endorsing Rockbusters, that somehow by allowing it on the show, somehow we think it's good or we appreciate it. And I need to point out that it's more like when a child comes back from school and they've done a painting. Yeah. It's crap.
Yeah.
But of course you've got to stick it on the fridge.
Bigger than the house.
You've got to stick it on the fridge because otherwise the kid's going to get upset.
In this next episode, you've got to remember the cat is bigger than the house.
Exactly.
Okay.
It doesn't look like anything.
The humans don't have bodies, their legs come straight from their head.
Yeah. Mummy and Daddy.
Please welcome to the stage, Karl Pilkington's Rockbusters.
Alright. Right, so, cryptic clues, initials, and you work it out and you email in and that.
Yeah.
First one.
Yeah.
Don't be stealing my tools. Take your sister's. Alright, and the initials NK.
Don't be stealing the tools. Take my sister's.
Yeah, so that's like the cryptic clue, and the initials of the artist or band is NK. Alright? Second one. Buy it if you want, not bothered, think about it. Come back. Right, come back if you want.
Start again, Carl! No, last halfway through! Right, start that second one again!
Right, well, you can buy...
It's different! Well, the first one was, buy it if you want, now this one was, yeah, well, write it down, buy it. Right, do it! If it's a cryptic clue, all the letters count. Do it.
Buy it if you want, I'm not that bothered. You know, think about it, come back, check some other places out first before you know...
That was a crossword clue! In the Times! So we've got no time for other clues. Right.
So that's SC.
Right, do that clue again.
Right, if you want. I'm not fussed, do you know what I mean? Think about it.
Fast has made an appearance! Fast wasn't there before! Do the clue again! Do the clue again!
Initials SC for that one.
Do the clue again!
I don't want to do it again.
You haven't finished it yet?
I have, that's it.
No, do the clue again.
I can't do it again.
Do the clue again.
Well, bite if you want, I'm not fussed, right? Shop around. Come back. It's up to you. I'm not pushing you into anything.
It's up to you, what's there?
SC for that one, right? And the final one, that's good, I can play 10-pin bowling again.
Okay, and what's the clue?
Christ.
That's O for that one. O. Alright, so...
Okay, now I assume that I'm not going to bother to look, but I assume there's a jiffy bag of tack which people can win. Alright, well, great, good luck. Ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk is the email address.
Thorns.
No, bye if you want, I'm not pushing, come back, have a look round. I'm open Wednesdays, by the way, shut up, see you later. Right. Go on, Carl.
Should we have the Rockbusters answers?
Yeah,
We've got to get the tax out of the way.
I'd love to. Number one was, don't be stealing my tools, take your sisters. The initials were NK. That was Nick Ershaw. Right?
Nick Ershaw?
Nick Ershaw. 80s.
I don't know, I've never heard of that band.
Nick Kershaw.
Nick Kershaw, yeah. Nick, sorry, what, I don't understand it, Nick. How does Nick Kershaw?
Second one.
No, don't move on! Nick Ershaw! What's Nick Ershaw? Jesus.
Alright.
It doesn't count, it's not a clue!
Then let's just leave it behind us, alright?
Second one was, bite if you want. You know, I'm not bothered, you can think about it, come back, have a look around, think it over. I'm not fussed. The initials were SC. That was soft sell. Right?
That works.
Yeah.
Well done.
That works.
Right. And that's good. I can play 10-pin bowling again. That's O. That's outcast. Alright?
What does that mean? Outcast?
You're out, you broke your arm. Right? Got the cast
that's ridiculous.
That's ludicrous.
I mean, that's ridiculous.
You broke your arm, you were in a cast, you got rid of the cast, you're outcast.
Did anyone get that?
Yeah.
I mean, I am stunned.
I think, to be fair, that was because how many bands begin with O?
Yeah.
I think that's why people got it.
Exactly. But they were guesses, yeah. I could probably make Oasis work if I tried hard enough.
We've done that.
Oh, pardon me.
So, outcast.
That's ridiculous.
Why is it ridiculous?
But it's ridiculous. We had worse than that! Imagine that!
I remember when I did my wristing, then it fixed, and I went 10-pin bowling.
Why did you do your
So it's what you did. Brilliant. So next week's quiz is what am I thinking? You're an idiot, Carl. I like that. That's great, isn't it? Aqualung. Good time's gonna come. Well, Carl, we've got loads of ideas. We've got emails coming left, right and centre. I think you've caused quite a stir. I think you've turned this show around, to be honest. I'm being, honestly. Yeah, no, you've done really well. You're actually acting a bit like a producer, isn't he? And, you're coming through in your own right. We had a great suggestion.
We've had a great email here. Let me just check
this, Carl.
Let me just check.
Listen to this.
This is from Jeff Dunn. He's a big fan of the show, and he's just had a genius idea. He's saying, "You're moving house, Carl. Why don't Ricky and I come round? We can do a live outside broadcast from your flat. We can observe from your kitchen those weirdos that live opposite.
Yeah.
We can maybe just wander around, just see the kind of place that you've got. You know, maybe check out your record collection, your clothes, what you got in the bathroom.
It'd be amazing.
Your futon.
It'd be like Louis Theroux, wouldn't it? We'll be Louis Theroux.
Come on, Carl. This is a dynamite idea.
Nah.
Why?
I don't want you coming around making a mess and that.
We'll make a mess.
We'll take our shoes off.
When have I ever made a mess in the studio?
Yeah, exactly.
No,
No, do you know what I mean?
We're not going to make a mess. We're not going to have anything with us.
But what's in it for anyone?
Well, it's just a fascinating insight into you.
Yeah, but, right, when I see that little Chinese kid across the road who's dancing about in his underpants, that's in the evening, right? He's not going to be doing that on a Saturday, so you'll be disappointed there.
Sure.
That old woman...
But you could at least show us the room in which he dances.
Yeah, when you say little Chinese kid, he's a 35-year-old man, isn't he?
Yeah, well...
yeah, you don't...
28.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's beside the point, you know, we'll find our own amusement.
No, I don't, and the woman downstairs has got a baby, and if we make loads of noise and that gets stressed out...
We're not gonna make noise, are we? We're just gonna have a conversation in your flat. Have a cup of tea.
Yeah, but if we're doing OB, we need to get, like, a car outside with a big aerial on it, and the parking's bad round our way.
What do you mean you have to do what do you mean?
To do an outside broadcast.
Can't they put in an ISDN line just for the dance?
No, because it'll make a mess of the wall, and I won't get my deposit back. So, we'll leave that. Thanks for the idea.
You know, he's going around painting all the little holes, to get his deposit back in the wall. He wants to get his deposit back. It's probably cost him about 400 quid redecorating.
Let's remind people, Carl, of the prizes for Rockbusters this week. It's dynamite stuff. We've got the David Attenborough DVD Nature Collection. We've got a number of CDs, the best of David Bowie. We've got a Madness CD, not quite sure whether that's songs from the musical or their original tunes. Country Legends, 2 CDs there of great country music.
Brilliant.
And the remix to XFM compilation. Plus, of course, the big movie prize this week. Hellraiser! If you haven't seen it already, then I assume you have never seen a film before. Because I don't know if there's anyone who hasn't seen Hellraiser. But obviously you have to be above 18 to join, to play the competition.
So, how long would you want to be around for? Is this just for the...
Just for the show. A couple of hours.
2 hours. You just get the desk in there. A live OB.
We could check out the futon, we could sing its praises.
Check the fault in, right? Yeah. Oh, you might have sold that by now.
We could have someone come round and buy it live on air.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Think about it. Think about it.
It's great.
How did Graceland start? Because that was... that was its normal house, and then they took over. Right, anyway, Rockbusters.
Yeah, go on.
I give a cryptic clue.
Yeah.
And a letter, and it makes up a band.
He never said the word cryptic a few months ago. I love it. Do you know what I mean? I feel it's like our own little Eliza Doolittle.
Yes.
Right, even Richard will like this one. Here we go then. First one. There's 3 of them, and you email in.
If this doesn't turn Dickie round, nothing will.
This is an email-only competition.
Email only. Right, here's the first one. Initial is B, so it's a band starting with B.
Okay.
And the cryptic clue is, I don't like them birds, they shouldn't be allowed in this area.
I don't like them birds, they shouldn't be allowed in this area. Next one.
Right, the next one. He doesn't like women, yet he's got a couple of kids, that's a bit weird.
Is that a cryptic clue, or is that just...
Is that just a
general point?
Is that,
That's the cryptic clue.
Okay.
And the initials there are PD.
Okay.
And, the last one,
God, that one, that's terrible. That's terrible.
Okay, quickly.
Oh, God.
And the last one is, that bloke who does...
Come on!
It's making me laugh.
Come on, Carl, be professional.
Right, the last one. Right. I can't do it, it's making me laugh.
Oh, come on, I'll come and read them then.
No, hang on,
come on, Carl.
Right, here we go.
They don't do this on Blockbusters on TV, do they?
No, come on.
That bloke who does sport on telly. He's got a little kid, right? Initials DC.
What? Is that
I'm completely confused by that.
Was that the clue?
Yeah, that bloke who does sport on telly.
Yeah.
He's got a little kid. Initials DC.
Okay, is that a band? Or an artist?
It's, well, I'm not gonna tell you.
This is not a well-known sandwich. Is it, what is it? Is it a band or an
Right,
artist?
so just quickly recap. That's
Okay.
It's
Come on, Carl.
Right,
Come on.
quick recap. The first one is B. I don't think them birds should be around in this area. Right, that's B, right? Second one, he doesn't like women, yet he's got a few kids. It's a bit weird. That's PD. And the final one, that bloke who does sport on the telly, he's got a little kid, right? DC.
Alright, and it's ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk if you want to enter for Hellraiser.
Oh, I'll tell you what, continue to do a little theme here of like some old stuff people haven't heard of. If you're under 30, you probably never heard of this band. It's also a new thing I want to introduce to it. It's Show Up Camfield. Camfield talks the talk, he doesn't walk the walk, he doesn't play some rock classics on his show because he's scared. I'm going to play the tracks that Camfield's too scared to play. This is Kansas and Carry On Your Wayward Son, alright? Right, okay, right, the results of,
We ain't got a winner for the first time.
Yes, we have. We've got
loads of winners.
No, we haven't. We've done this feature for 3 weeks. This is the first time I've managed to sort of...
Well, let's go through them then.
What have they got wrong?
The first one.
The first one?
What was the first one?
Well, hang on, let's do them in reverse order first. So what's the last one?
The last one, the clue was, that bloke does sport on the telly and he's got a little kid.
What's that?
That's Destiny's Child. Des, who does ITV Sport,
that's
he's got
terrible,
a Tiny's
man.
Child, right? No,
terrible.
that's fine,
Yeah,
they got that.
okay,
Destiny's Child. What's the middle one?
Right, the middle one. Right.
Child.
The second one was, he doesn't like women, yet he's got a couple of kids. That's a bit weird.
Yeah.
Right? That was PD, that was Puff Daddy.
That is offensive. Go on.
But it's not Puff Daddy, it's Puff Daddy. And he's not even called that anymore, he's called P. Diddy.
Well...
Okay, fair enough.
But they got that one.
Yeah.
And if I'm being tight, these lot are as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tight means something in Manchester. Go on.
Right? And the first one that they're having problems with, I don't think them birds should be allowed in this area.
Got it. Boyzone.
It's not Boyzone.
What's the clue again?
I don't think them birds should be allowed in this area.
That is perfect. A boyzone. No birds.
No women.
No women, yeah, birds, right? A boyzone. Sorry, Carl. If that isn't the answer, their clue is better than yours. That is brilliant. What was yours? Boyzone, it works perfectly.
What's your answer then?
Bangles.
I have no idea what that means.
Like seagulls. So you don't want them in this area, so you're banning them. Bangles.
Oh! Well, give it to Boyzone, because Boyzone's better. Don't use birds in loudest area, it's a Boyzone.
I think we should have a rollover. Carl beat them. Carl beat them. You have to use his logic, surely.
But theirs works. You can't do what am I thinking. No, that's not what I'm thinking. It works perfectly. I think you've got to give it to the ones that got the Boyzone.
Well, how about, right, because they didn't actually get into my head.
Wow, heaven forbid.
How about we just keep back the David Attenborough, and they can have, I'll chuck in the Hellraiser, right?
Okay.
And Blondie album and the Madness one.
Yeah, okay, pick a winner at random.
Pick a winner, Steve.
I'm gonna give it to Paul Sloman, who got those answers, and he also says, P.S. Carl, you're a moron. So, I'm giving that to Paul, and good luck to him.
Right, well,
he's got a crazy night tonight. If we can rush these over to him, he's got a cracking Saturday night.
Well, if I'm a moron, I might get your address wrong when I send them to you.
Ooh. Oh, coming right back at you, Paul.
Yes. Right. John, play your song.
Carl's annoyed because they didn't get banned goals.
A song for the ladies. I think we seem to have missed this a lot of weeks, but this is. I've been wanting to play this.
It's not like us to forget things like that.
This is a band Frente who kind of came and went, and no one was particularly interested. But they did this lovely acoustic version of the New Order tune, "Bizarre Love Triangle," and this just shows you how incredible the melodies and the words and everything are.
Brilliant.
New Order. Just play this.
Good night.
Bye bye. Is this the end of the week?
Do you reckon Richard Anderson will be back next week?
Yeah, Richard Anderson will not miss this show.
Excellent.
We do, of course, Rick, every week get thousands of emails. Emily from New York has asked Carl this. Carl, if you were on a sinking ship, or you were in a burning building, and you were with myself and Ricky, but you could only save one of us, I don't know why that's the case, but you can only save one of us, who would you save? Would it be Ricky, or would it be me?
I think it's a two-man dinghy.
Right, okay.
Possibly. And we're trapped, and he knows that if he stays there to get both our legs out from under this thing...
the girder.
Yeah, he dies, so he's got room, he's got time to save one. It's obviously me.
It's hard to say, isn't it, at this point?
What, because Steve's in the room, you mean?
Well, no, just because we don't know what the situation is.
Okay, well, let's say we're on a sinking ship, all right? So you're gonna have to rescue one of us, drag us into the dinghy.
It's going under. You know, in 30 seconds... Okay, this ship's gonna go under and drag you down and you're gonna die, right? And our legs are trapped and you've got enough time to untangle one set of legs. Whose legs do you untangle?
Now, just because my legs are long does not necessarily mean it's more complicated.
No, it's exactly the same amount of time. Just have to make a choice. A terrible choice that Steve would not, hate you for.
Well, no, listen,
he won't be around for long. He's going to drown in 30 seconds. Forget him.
Bear in mind this, Carl. You are going to be stuck in a dinghy with Ricky Gervais, and who knows how long that's going to take. Think of all the head squeezing that's going to be going on, the comments, the wind-up. And do you honestly think that he's going to, if there's any provisions, that he's going to split them evenly with you? I mean, he's going to have drunk all the water, and there's only going to be about half an hour in. The food's going to be gone. Look at his gut. Look how much, of the food he's going to have to eat, the baked beans that you've got on board. Whereas me, you know how generous I am. I'm always sort of helping you out.
Oh, there we go, Carl. I think he's put the nail in his own coffin there. You know how generous I am, Carl. Let's talk about that, Carl. Come on, think about that one.
Yeah, I mean, have you forgot about that, Steve?
What?
The time when we went for a coffee, and we had to have a bit of a heated debate about the 50p change.
Yeah, you owed me 50p, and you decided you didn't want to give it to me because it was only 50p. And my point was, it's not a question of 50p, it's the fact that it's not your decision to decide not to give it to me. If I want to be generous, that's my decision, but you can't go, oh, it's only 50p, Steve.
It's my decision who I
But
say
you just given him a free keg of beer.
Yeah.
No, but that did not come to you, and you didn't pay for the free keg of beer. It was a promotional thing that was sent to you.
It's the same thing as the way I gave Suzanne my leaving present from my last job.
A lot of people may not be aware of this if they haven't heard us talking about it before. Yes, but you had a gift from your work as you were leaving after however many years of service, which you then gave straight to your girlfriend without telling her that it had been received from people at work.
Doesn't matter, she wanted a camera. It's the same thing as you. You wanted that lager that I got for free. It hasn't cost you anything. It doesn't matter where I got it from.
So you now decide, because you've given me a free lager, that you can now say, oh, actually, I'm not, in the future, I'll just take your money, Steve, on a whim.
Well, listen, stop arguing us. You're rocking the dinghy. Carl, have some of my cheese.
Imagine he would ever say that. Can you imagine him ever offering you any of his cheese?
Are you going to save Carl, mate?
I don't want to say.
Well, think about it, and
I might do a sort of a for and against or something, and then sort of, so the conclusion is...
Okay, alright. Well, I've been waiting for this for a week. It's a regular feature now. When we read from Carl's diary. Carl decided to keep a diary. He's gone through with it, I can see it there. It's massive. It's a huge desk diary that he has to carry around with him, and the pages are getting full up. You're really keeping to this.
Yeah.
Right, this is extracts from Carl's diary.
Did podcast and went for an Italian with Ricky and Steve. The Italian place is good. We've been there a few times. I always have the same thing, spaghetti. Can't remember what everyone else had. Last time we went there, Steve had little octopuses with pasta. You could see that they were octopuses. They hadn't been cut up or anything. My rule is that I only eat stuff that looks nice when it's alive. A cow, a chicken, some fish. An octopus is an odd-looking thing alive. Even worse when it's dead and limp. It looks like it just shouldn't have been sat in the spaghetti.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Ricky drew another picture of my head. We've given a few of them away as prizes, but he draws so many of them that they won't be worth as much anymore. Everyone will eventually have one. Like those pictures of a boy crying that caused houses to burn down in the 1980s.
What does that mean?
What are you talking about?
It's just some kid. My auntie Nora had one, and it was just like a kid with like a blue jumper on, and it's like a painting, not a photo.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And he's just crying.
Like a chocolate box, really awful, sort of sugary.
And what happened is they found out that a load of houses were being set on fire or burst into flames, whatever. And the weird thing was...
Oh, it's bollocks.
Every house that burnt down had that photo.
Yeah, because every house had that picture in the fucking 70s and 80s. Idiot. It's like, we're linking it to sinks. Every house that's ever burnt down had a sink. You're talking shit again. Carry on.
Wednesday. Saw a homeless bloke. I'm surprised that no companies have thought about sponsoring the homeless. Something like a clothing company. Give them some clothes that have an advert on the back. Everyone's a winner.
Good idea.
Not bad, is it?
Got on the tube to Camden. Read in a free newspaper that hedgehogs could be gone by 2025. I think I've seen more dead hedgehogs than alive ones anyway, so I don't think I'll miss them. Went round to Ricky's house and had a game of pool. It should have been nice and relaxing, but Jane gave me some cake, and Ricky said I can't play pool if my hands are all sticky from cake.
It was the sugar. And it wasn't that either. After he'd finished it, they weren't just sticky. He was licking his fingers, sucking his fingers off, and then was going to pick up ball cues and touch things. And I was thinking, go and wash your hands after licking your hands. You're not a cat.
This turned into an argument when I said I didn't want to wash my hands.
Why didn't he? Disgusting.
He goes for a piss all the time without washing his hands, and then squeezes my head. I know I'd prefer to have lemon cake crumbs on my head than knob juice. Was going to do a crossword, but I'm tired and have learnt enough today.
What have you learned?
Well, the stuff about hedgehogs and that.
Oh, God.
Was on my way to my mates and I got on a train. Got close to a station but realised I needed a wee. Was about to go in a cubicle when a blind man with a dog who was bumbling his way through the walkway came around. I said, "Are you after the toilet?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "It's on your right." I shouldn't have let him go first, as he took ages and it would be my stop soon. The dog waited outside the cubicle. I was going to stroke it, but then I remembered someone telling me that you shouldn't. Don't know why
not?
that is.
Because something to do with the owner should be the only one who sort of deals with that dog, and you shouldn't.
Well, you shouldn't stroke it because you'll cover it in fucking lemon cake.
No, but just because, you know, if you stroke it and that, it might like me and want to go off with me, and he'll come out and be lost and stuff.
Yeah.
A few people have sent this in, including Paul, the party animal Parker. For some reason, we've just assumed he's in school. I don't think there's any actual proof of that. But
I reckon he left in June, and he's doing sort of bits and pieces, but he's still not a party animal.
do you think he can hold down a job? Is he just partying so hard that
he can hold down a job? He often arrives late.
Sure.
And the boss, who's in an overall, go, Parker, you're late again. He goes, yeah, talks in the hand. Yeah.
I think that he's the sort of guy that he'll just happily say, listen, I survive on 4 hours sleep.
Yeah.
Sometimes I go to work, I've not slept at all.
But I think he comes in with his headphones blaring, right, on a skateboard, and the bloke goes up to him, the old bloke, right, the old fuddy-duddy bloke, goes, you stupid idiot, you can't... He goes, chill out, man, and in 2 minutes, he's got him dancing.
Oh, I know what he's like. Yeah, he is just like, he just can't resist it, because he's just a fun guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, Paul and a few other people have sent in this piece of information they've discovered from one of the more respected news networks. The headline is this: female kidney turns lumberjack onto housework.
Right.
Now, a Croatian lumberjack apparently has claimed that he started enjoying housework and knitting after he was given a female kidney. He claims he's going to sue his local health authority because he says he's become a laughingstock. He used to enjoy heavy drinking sessions and things. The kidney transplant saved his life, but they never warned me about the side effects. I've developed a strange passion for female jobs, like ironing, sewing, washing dishes, sorting clothes in wardrobes, and even knitting.
Well, if he likes it, what's the problem? It's nonsense. It's nonsense. Hold on, though. What makes me laugh is he's become a laughingstock. So what do you do when you become a laughingstock? Tell the newspapers.
Well, yeah.
Tell the newspapers about it, because then that'd keep it completely under wraps. Then.
But it's the sort of medical nonsense that Carl would normally come out with.
Absolutely. You take on the personality of the person who gave you their blood.
Exactly. It's like those old horror stories, you get given a murderer's hand.
Yeah.
You go around killing.
But there can be certain medical things that would change the way you think and would change you as a person. Say, like how they can do face transplants now.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I don't quite understand how this face transplants work, because do you get a choice of who you have? If you have something done to your face and you go, it's burnt or whatever, or something happens to you and you need a face transplant.
Well, if you totally changed your appearance, then you would eventually change because of how people reacted to you.
Yeah, but
if you gave yourself the head of an elephant, soon you wouldn't be yourself.
But
because
I wouldn't have that. That's what I'm saying. If they had a catalogue and they said, here's some faces you can have, pick which one you want.
Yeah.
Would you be looked upon badly if you go, do you know what? I don't really like the look of any of them. Can I just wait for a better face? Or at this moment in time, have you just got to take what's on offer?
Carl, there's no one looking through catalogues at faces they might be able to have.
No, they do now because of the face transplant thing.
But who are these people putting their face up for? They wait till someone...
Yeah, I know, but at some point... Well, I tell you what, I would not have a face transplant if I haven't seen the face before I'm going to have it.
You had to...
I want to see what I'm having. Because I could end up with anything. You mentioned elephant's head. What, do you know what I mean? Whose head are they going to use? Is it the latest thing that's died? Oh, well, this got run over before. Yeah, I'll stick this on your head.
But where does this come from? Where are these
mind?
Where are these faces queuing up to be popped on a skull? Where do you think they have got time to put all these...
Maybe this is why it won't catch on. I don't know.
This is extraordinary. You've created in your own head the existence of this pamphlet, and now you're defending it, even though we don't know it even exists.
And you're this skull on a hospital bed going, I'm not having that. I don't like the look of him. He looks a bit shifty. Oh, I don't like that. Oh, no.
Can I ask this now? Let's say we passed away sadly in something terribly tragic. The nation's mourned. It's terrible. It's like one of the great national disasters. But you... At the same time, you survived the accident, okay, but your face is hideously disfigured. You can take either Ricky's face or mine to have.
I'm surprised you're asking this, though, Steve. I mean, it's just, it doesn't seem like any of them is, like, a great option.
Oh, thanks.
And this is what I'm saying about the catalogue. If those two were on offer, I might go, do you know what? Pop in again tomorrow. Bring in another booklet.
Beatles, Revolution. Was that clear?
Yes, it was, yes.
Yeah, good. We got to speed this up, because we know... It's funny, because our first link, when we had a go like the library and the playlist, when we played the record, Carl went, you usually do it at the end when you've run out of stuff.
Yes, what's left off, yeah.
So we started with what's usually our worst bit of material, so I think we've got to turn this show round.
Right.
Carl's been holding this together, to be honest.
Yep.
It's Carl's beautiful naivety and, can I say it, Carl, in the nicest way, stupidity
yes.
that are keeping the listeners...
I wouldn't class it as stupid.
I'm only joking. I'm only joking, mate. Of course you're not stupid. Everyone knows you're not stupid. You're sincere, and that can sometimes be, you know, frowned upon in this cynical world.
Would you say you've learnt stuff from me in the past few weeks?
Definitely. Definitely. Rather like a scientist learns from injecting mice.
Yeah.
No, but I've learnt from you about ants and stuff. I think every week, as weeks go on, I feel like...
We're learning from each other.
I'm learning more now than I did when I was at school.
And can I just clarify?
Yeah.
You weren't raised as an experiment and you've escaped from a laboratory. You had regular upbringing in Manchester and that.
Yeah, I didn't go to school much because me mum and dad had a caravan.
Right.
No need, is there? No need when you've got that sort of fun at home.
Yeah. I used to just go away for weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, honestly.
Where'd you used to go?
Portmaddock.
But
And, so you didn't go to school much?
No, I did, but not as much as everyone else.
Yeah.
How many holidays were your parents having? What was their income that they could...
No, my dad used to work nights, and he used to travel back, because to Manchester from Wales, it wasn't that far. And
Manchester to Wales?
He used to do 4 on and 4 off, so me and my mum were, like, loving it.
But what Port Meredith?
Portmaddock.
Portmaddock.
Just down the road from Port Merion, where they filmed The Prisoner.
Right.
Oh, so that's cleared up for me.
Yeah,
location-wise.
So what did you do then? You were in this little 2-berth caravan on the back of a Cortina estate.
Right.
Well, what was it? What was the car? I want the... what was
Granada,
it?
full Granada.
Full Granada. What are we talking? 1980...
Yeah, 82, 83,
80, right?
84, 85.
Okay. And you're in the car, down there, park up.
Yeah.
What was it? What was Port Meredith?
Portmaddock.
Portmaddock.
Remember Ruth?
It's just,
Oh, yeah.
it's just a holiday camp.
Yeah.
And had an arcade and a beach. I was loving it.
Yeah.
But, so of the 52 weeks of the year, let's assume, I don't know how many weeks you take off normally for holidays anyway. Let's just say, I don't know, you go to school 45 weeks of the year maybe? Generally, most kids?
No.
A bit less.
Bit less than that?
42.
How many weeks would you say you actually spent in school?
Well, how many weeks do you have off for summer?
Well, we'll work that out, that's what
About
we mean.
6 off for summer, about 3 for Easter, about 3 for Christmas.
Put it this way, I'm surprised I'm not Welsh, to be honest.
Right.
So I was there more than I was in Manchester.
Did the school authority not come and check you out?
No, they didn't.
Didn't get Manchester, I suppose they didn't care, do they?
Not really.
Yeah.
They're lucky you turned up at all. What did you just turn up for the last day when you could take in your best toy? Did you used to know that when you could take in any game?
Just play with everyone else's. Why, you know, I break my stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a good
Well, this
point.
answers a lot. This does answer a lot. The fact that you spent most of your time on the beach as a kid.
Teachers were no good at my school. We were talking about it yesterday. About
So you were teaching them a lesson by going off in the summer. Yeah. And did you go to university?
No.
No. Did you go to sixth form or college?
No.
When did you leave school?
When I was about 15.
Right. What, you just went on holiday and didn't come back?
I just got a job early, didn't I?
Where was it? Portmaddock?
Getting there. No, I was a printer. BM Print in Trafford Park.
Well, that's great. That's a little interview there.
Yeah,
next I'll be interviewing Steve Merchant. What are we playing next?
Bit of elbow.
Oh, this is fantastic. This is Elbow. Elbow, Asleep in the Back. I think that is absolutely beautiful. I think Elbow are my favourite new group.
We've sang their praises many times and they never phoned to thank us.
Should they?
Yes.
Do they?
Annoying.
Really?
Annoying.
No, they're doing a good job there. I wonder if they found their lyrics. Because I also wanted to write a song from, didn't I? They didn't take me up on that either, Steve.
I'm not sure I'm so keen on them now. Carl, can I have a Jaffa cake? Because I've just found a lump.
I think... You don't mean me, do you?
No.
Alright, good.
Thanks, Steve.
Now, we interviewed Carl there. I think we've learned a little bit more about Carl there.
We did, yeah.
And I'm going to interview Steve now, Carl, because I used to be... You concentrating. Don't put it all in at once.
Carl, chew. Chew before you swallow. Careful. Alright.
I used to suffer with that a lot.
What?
Not chewing.
The amount of times I nearly died as a kid.
What? Forgetting to chew.
Choking.
Sure.
Mint Imperials. My mum stole time.
Drinking them with water.
She'd have to hide him.
He's coming out of his shell, isn't he? He's happy Saturdays. He's miserable all week, and he's happy Saturdays, isn't he? Oh, look at him. It's like we get him weekends.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's just happy because we sort of spoil him, don't we? And he has Jaffa cakes and everything. We let him on the radio.
He has to go and live with his stepmom again, don't we?
Oh,
They're the
no.
ones who listen.
Oh, really?
Your girlfriend does, doesn't she, I imagine?
She's been away for ages.
I know.
I imagine she just switches off after a while.
But you know, we love you, don't you? Well, we're excited. We talk about you in the week, and we think you're great. So don't just think we're using you as a
cheap cobbly material. I hate you to think that, Carl.
Right, no, I'm gonna interview Steve. You know, because I used to be a chat show host. Well, I am a chat show host. Well, did you see me at Ricky Gervais?
No. I worked on it and I didn't watch it. No one watched it.
That's terrible.
No one watched it.
What do you think, Carl?
I loved it.
See?
Are you thinking of Parkinson?
And I didn't know Ricky then, so I'm being fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to interview Steve Merchant now.
Okay.
Live on air, XFM 104.9. We should say that more often.
Yes.
Ricky
Gervais.
Because they might tune, I think they've got a hospital radio by mistake. Yeah, Ricky Gervais. Yeah. Okay, Steve Merchant. Great to be here. Hi. Now, you're a very tall man, if I might say. You're 6'7", aren't you?
Yes.
Was that a bit of a problem at school?
Well, yeah, a few jokes here and there.
Yeah,
a bit of gentle ribbing, but not anything too problematic.
What's the weather like up there?
Well, exactly.
Skinny, all that sort of thing. Oh, you're lanky.
Yeah,
oh dear. And, what about the glasses?
Well, I wear glasses, but again, that wasn't really a problem, you know.
They didn't call you Four Eyes, really. They didn't call you Four Eyes Freaky Lank thing. They didn't call you Freak Pot. Freaky the Freakish.
Alright, I'm not sure I'm enjoying this, Rick.
What?
I'm not sure.
Well, I'm just saying, they didn't do that.
As an interview, I'm not sure that's the best approach.
Okay, and then you left school. You left school.
Yeah.
You went to university. There, were you called Freaky, Freak-Eyed, Four-Eyed Git?
Four-Eyed Git.
Are you sure?
Never been called it.
Were you called Freaky, Lanky, Four-Eyed, Stupid Hair, Boggle-Eyed Freak Face? Fish Face?
Is your chat show coming back? Is this what you I never watched it. Is this what you said to people like, I mean, you had some big names on there, didn't you? Tony Hart.
Yeah.
That bloke off Ground Force.
Well, the problem was they'd either heard of me or they hadn't. Either way, they didn't want to.
It was a problem.
Yeah, it was a problem.
Who would you say was the biggest name you had?
They're all dead now.
Okay.
Probably the youngest one, survived. I think Penny Smith is still with us.
Right.
Yeah. Biggest name?
You had Savile.
Jimmy Savile.
You had Daniels, Paul.
Yeah, Paul Daniels, yeah.
But which was the biggest name, would you say, that you had on the show from the 1970s?
Peter Purvis.
Peter Purvis, of course.
He was a joy.
No, but,
so that's just...
But it's not coming back though, that show, we're not...
No, not in that form. The Channel 4 wants to see some changes.
What sort of changes?
Ratings.
Right.
Now I'm gonna play a lovely track. Thanks, Steve Merchant.
Thank you.
I'm gonna play a lovely track by Elvis Costello. I think one of his first hits, maybe even be his first hit, back in the 70s. This is, Red Shoes. Zinger meets Spray, apparently. I've never heard of him.
No.
Sounds good. It's spelt Spray, though, but Carl reckons it's Spray. Song 2, a cover of, Blur's Song 2.
Yes.
You wouldn't recognise it,
In the dub version? No.
In an old school reggae dub style.
Nice.
Lee.
Big 'em up.
Yeah, all that. Oh, we know all that. We
all the wording. Yeah.
Oh, we know all that, yeah. So, yeah, that was quite interesting. I quite like that.
Yeah, that's not bad. Filled up 3 minutes.
Before that, Elvis Costello, Red Shoes.
Lovely.
What a great song.
Debut, was it? Debut single?
I think so. It's the first one I remember of his, but, you know.
We'll probably give Elvis a call, won't we, and chat to him about it.
Yeah.
He's a pal now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the celebrity.
Yes. You, what, because you told me something else about your celebrity world that I thought might be of interest to the listeners. I don't know if you're happy to mention it.
What?
Your, forthcoming TV appearance?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I've been invited. I don't usually do these things.
Yeah.
But I sort of quite like the show. I've watched it for a while. So I'm at Room 101.
Have you seen this, Carl? Do you know that show?
You don't like it?
No. But is it still Nick Hancock as well?
No.
Who is it?
Paul Merton.
God, is he still around? I've seen him for ages.
He's probably going to be a great pal of mine come Tuesday.
No, sir, I mean, that doesn't make any difference.
No.
Have you got all the channels tuned in right on your TV? Paul Merton's a huge star. He's on all the time.
Yeah.
No, is he heck?
Yeah, he's on there. Have I Got News for You and all the rest of it?
Yeah.
What's the rest of it?
Well, anyway, look. Room 101 is the show.
Room 101.
Is the show where you put in the things you hate into this imaginary room.
And I thought I'd do it because it's just a laugh, because, you know, they let you speak and it seems like a bit of fun.
What are you going to put into it?
Oh, well, ruin it, won't I, for all the listeners?
Oh, right, yeah. Switch off now if you don't want to hear what Ricky Gervais is going to put in Room 101.
I don't know, just things that irritate me, like, I don't know, I'm putting in, noisy people. People who make unnecessary noise, for one thing.
Right.
Right.
Can I just stop you there for just 1 second? You
know what you're gonna say.
No. I was just thinking, just wonder if there's a little case there of the pot calling the kettle black. Because you are the most annoying man ever in the history of all things. I mean, I've met a lot of people in my life, I like to think. Even everyone. I mean, to anyone I went to school with who was possibly, I mean, an evil man, would throw things at people when, the teachers just throw stuff at them all the way through the lesson, throw things at the back of your head. Even he was not as irritating as you are.
Really?
Just the fact that you're just crunching up a plastic spoon now.
Well, what's good is that?
It's annoying.
Yeah, I know, but,
It's just, you're so irritating. You're always making the little noises, just little sounds all the time. we were working yesterday, right? And I was typing this, and he had an elastic band between his teeth, right? I don't know how he got, how he just seems to end up with an elastic band between his teeth, right? And he was flicking it, so it was making a noise, boom, 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 boom. What were you saying? You were just going, the rain on Spain falls mainly on the plain. The rain in Spain stays mainly on the plain. Just kept doing that, right? Repetitively. Yeah. I eventually, what are you doing? What are you up to? He went, sorry. Tried to wrap the elastic band round his face, right? It flipped up, hit him in the nose. Right, he screamed, because that hurt, obviously, it came quite tight. And he said to me, if I can flip this elastic band and hit your glasses, right, not your face, but if I can hit your glasses, can I flip the elastic band at you? I went, well, how am I going to find out if you can, you might hit my face? He went, well, why don't you cover up the skin on your face, your nose and everything, with some paper?
Which he did!
Yeah, just to keep you happy. Yeah. And then he flicks it at me, so I grabbed it, flicked it at him. He ran off screaming, swearing at me. Oh, don't frighten me! I
was saying, don't be childish. Retaliation is childish. I did it first, so...
It's pathetic, endlessly. Just this kind of...
No, but you agree with me on that people who just, I can't stand noisy eaters, people who go...
No,
like that,
I do agree with that.
And people eating crisps, as I said before, people eating crisps in cinemas.
Well, anyone who's making noise in the cinema. It's
they must be mental. They've gone to see a film, there's people they don't know there, everyone's paid £8.
And they're crunching away.
Oh, leaving their phones on.